Hi, welcome back to Dad Knows. So last time we covered the election of 1860 and how that kind of sparked the beginning of the Civil War in the United States. Today we're just fast forwarding straight ahead to the end of the Civil War. I know you're saying, wait, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, there's tons and tons and tons of stuff to cover in there, and at some point I'll come back and cover a lot of that stuff, but I'm trying to keep to a schedule right now. So the schedule for this week is the end of the Civil War. So Civil War ends. So we have a special guest today who is intricately involved in both the beginning of the Civil War and the end of the Civil War. I know you're wondering who that is. You're like, is it Greg? Is it Abraham Lincoln? No, we had Abraham Lincoln already. It's not Robert E. Lee. It's not General Ulysses S. Grant. It's not Jefferson Davis. You know who it is? It's Wilmer McLean. That's right. So you're wondering, you're probably going, Greg, who is Wilmer McLean? Well, folks, thanks to the Time Raider, you're about to meet him. So let's bring in Wilmer McLean without any further ado. Here we go. Hi, Mr. McLean. How are you? Oh, I forgot. Wilmer McLean, I think, only speaks crotchety old Southern man, so I'm going to try that and see if that works. Hey, Wilmer McLean! Welcome in! How you doing?
Thank you for having me on the show!
All right, see it works. Time out. So, we have no really idea how Wilmer McLean would have sounded. I'm just doing this as an homage to my pawpaw, Cosby Carl Holder Wren. Anyway, Wilmer, Wilmer McLean, you were the owner of Yorkshire Plantation in Manassas, Virginia. Is that correct?
Yes, sir!
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so what happened in Manassas Plantation on Yorkshire Plantation on July 21st, 1861?
They said they have a battle right in my yard.
So they had a battle in your yard?
Yeah.
Who was fighting? The Southerners and the Northerners? Oh my goodness. So what all happened? Did you see anything exciting? Did you go outside and look around?
Oh, they would have shot us.
They were shooting everywhere?
Yeah.
Did they even fire on your house?
Yeah, one came down right in the chimney.
A shell came down the chimney of your house? Oh my goodness. So this was the first battle, first Manassas. This is where famous General Thomas Jackson got his name, Stonewall Jackson. Did you see him when he was getting that title?
No.
No, why not?
Because all the bullets, we didn't want to get in
Oh, the
with
bullets! You were hiding inside. That's a smart man. Okay, so after this battle, kind of wrecked up here. So about a year and a half later, you moved like 100 miles south of Manassas, Virginia. Is that right? Okay, so why'd you move down there?
To get away from the Northerners, that was kind of supplying the Confederate Army with sugar.
Sugar, that's right, you were the sugar supplier for the Southern Army. That's right, okay. So you were the sugar supplier, and they also just wrecked up all your stuff, so you wanted to get away from those crazy people. That's right, okay. So fast forward, April 9th in 1865, they showed up at your house to do the surrender of the Confederate Army to General Grant. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's correct. Okay, so this was at Appomattox Courthouse. Now, a lot of people think that the surrender actually happened in Appomattox Courthouse, but that was the name of the town, right? And your house was in the town.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So your house was in the town. They came in there. General Lee, he showed up. General Grant was already there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So he showed up there. He came in. He sat down. He signed the documents and surrendered his army. What happened after that?
Well, we started taking all my stuff.
Taking your stuff?
Have they ever seen the commandment, thou shalt not covet? Like, there's my stuff.
So wait, who was taking your stuff?
Everybody.
Everybody. The Union generals were taking your stuff?
Yeah.
They were paying you for it, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't want to sell it?
No, it's my stuff.
You didn't have no choice though, because they had like guns and cannons and stuff, right?
Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. So after that, the war was basically over for you. Is that right? All right. So it could be said that the Civil War really kind of began in your front yard and ended in your front parlor. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Wilmer. I'm going to send you back to 1865 now. I know you got a lot of cleaning up to do down there. Things are wrecked up. You got to buy some new furnishings for your house, right? Because you done took them all. Okay. All right. We're going to send you back.
April, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Wilmer. All right. Wow, it's hard to do that with my voice for that long. God, I don't know how much longer I could have talked to Wilmer. Anyway, so we thank him so much. If you didn't know who Wilmer McLean was before now you do. famous man, should be a famous man. Again, war started kind of in his front yard, ended at his house. Didn't really end there. I'll get back to wrap that up in a second. But first, a word from our sponsor. Do you have lots of valuables in your house? Well, General Grant's garage sales can help. We'll show up, probably uninvited, and just come in and take your stuff. We'll pay you for it. I mean, maybe fair market value, maybe not, whatever. We'll take your stuff, we'll clean your house out. You'll have some money and no stuff. It'll be great. General Grant's garage sales. We'll help you out. Welcome back to Dad Knows. Well, I do want to say thank you to our sponsors, but I really kind of hope General Grant's garage sales don't show up at my house and just start taking my stuff and I guess paying me for it. And that really is what happened there. As soon as the surrender was signed, the Union, mostly the Union generals, started taking really everything in the house that wasn't nailed down. They did pay Wilmer McLean for it, but all right, I guess that's how it works. Okay, so they did pay Wilmer McLean for it, but there were even famously like 2 tables, one of which Grant at least signed the surrender document on. One of those tables was purchased by General Sheridan as a gift for the wedded couple, that General Armstrong Custer and his wife. So Custer actually rode away with with that table on his horse. Custer, as you know, well maybe you don't know, he later dies in a famous last stand of his own. So anyway, so was that really the end of the Civil War? Not technically. So April 9th, 1865 is not the actual end of the Civil War, because all Lee surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse to Grant was his army, his own army of the Northern Virginia. There were still several other Confederate armies in the field. Most notably, Johnson had one in Tennessee that comprised about 90,000 men. So that army was still out there. They surrendered about 14 days later. Then multiple other smaller armies surrendered, at various times throughout the rest of the year. Ultimately leading, so we say the Civil War did end in 1865. There was no further fighting after 1865. Even though I think finalization of it wasn't even really until '66 when Texas finally got their new state legislature in place. So Civil War, huge topic in America. We've talked about this a lot over the past, the slavery leading up to it, the debate over the slavery and states' rights that led to the war. Massive turning point in U.S. history. You could even say that before the Civil War, when people talked about the United States would say the United States are going to do this, and that meant like the individual states as a collective unit were going to do something, right? After that, people would talk about the United States more as the United States is going to do something, meaning kind of the overall federal structure of the United States came first, and then the states came separate. So it really kind of was a fundamental shift in the way that the United States was perceived and how it perceived itself. So anyway, like I said, we'll come back and do some other episodes on favorite battles or famous battles or turning points and stuff like that. We can do that later. There's just so many blogs and other things out there too that are really good and in-depth studies that you can get on that if you're interested. So if you want, comment on this and I'll give you some recommendations. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, like it, share it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, well, nothing I can do for you. Thanks so much.